Hi, and welcome to my PD on Plickers. Plickers is an online quiz similar to Kahoot, but it is great for classrooms that only have a single device, or if you don't have a device, you can use your own smartphone as long as you can get on to your school's Wi-Fi. So to begin with, you need to download the Plickers app that looks like this to your smartphone or device, and you need to either go onto their website and create an account, or through the app create an account. Then if you're going through the website, this is what it would look like. You're going to sign in, and then we can start creating quizzes. So first we're going to create a class list. So you're going to go to the top where it says classes. That will bring you to this screen. I already have my class entered, but you would go to add a new class. That will pop up this screen. You will then make a list of your students. Make sure you read the directions. It says each student on a different line. And then hit save. You can add as many classes as you want. If you teach multiple classes, I only teach one. So here's my class roster from last year. You can edit this at any time if you get like new students or you have students that move. Or if for this year I had two different Josephs. I had Joseph M and Joseph S. Turns out one wanted to be called Joe, the other one wanted to be JoJo, so I went in and changed their names. So then, once you have your class list typed up, you're then going to go to the top where it says cards, and that will bring you to the QR codes that your students will need to complete the quizzes. So in something like Kahoot, they can just log in using a code and use their devices or computers. With Plickers, you need to use these QR codes, and here's how you print them. So over on the side of the screen, you have different sizes that you want the cards. The ones are displayed, that's 2 per 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, or you can get 1 per 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, which is better for elementary students, a little bit bigger for them. You can also print 40 cards, or you can print 63 cards depending on how many classes, how many kids you have. And the preview of what your QR code will look like is there, and then you would click on the blue link where it says Standard Plicker Card Set, and it will download. So here is a sample of what a student QR code will look like. There are some things I want to point out. Each QR code has a number, and if you remember back to when we created the class list, each student had a number, which is why you need to print the roster so you know which student is which number. That will be how you see them in your app. So you're going to pass them out by numbers, and then you also notice that the QR code has letters. So if you have a multiple choice question and the answer is B, B is right side up, that is how you answer for B. If D was the answer, then you're going to turn it so D is right side up, and we'll face it towards the camera. So here's an example of it in action. You can see they all have different ways that they're facing. All the QR codes look different, and the letters and numbers really are not visible, so children cannot cheat. So they can look to their neighbor. The QR code looks different, so they can't really tell which way was side A, or is it side D? I don't really know. You can also cut them down so they're more square, so you can't really see if it's horizontal or vertical. So that's a better option if you need to cut down on cheating. But you can also, the letters are really tiny, so you really can't see from a distance, which is nice. So now you need to go in and create your quizzes, and the great thing about this is you can create them once and then they're there forever. So you're just going to go to the top of your screen to where it says library, and you're going to click on new question. And this screen will pop up, and you're going to type in your question in this box, and you can add an image if you would like to add an image, or maybe the image is your question, up to you of what you would like to do. Then you can choose either multiple choice or true false. If you want to have a multiple choice with only 3 responses, you can click the X and it will eliminate that line. You have to have a minimum of 2 responses or a maximum of 4. Then over on this side, you're going to want to select which answer is correct, or if more than one is correct, or if none of them are correct, like if you want to take a poll or an opinion survey, you can either select them all as correct or select the none as correct, up to you. And at the bottom, make sure you either hit save and it'll just do one question, or hit save and create new and it'll pull up another blank screen so you can create the next question. So now you've created a whole list of questions like I have here, and now you need to assign them to your various classes or to your single class. If you notice the yellow dot next to the questions. So you're going to want to come down here to where it says expand, and you're going to see a thing pop up that says add to queue, and then you're going to assign which class it is that you would like to answer this question. So you can, if you have A period class that needs to answer this question, but B period class does not need to answer this question, you can pick and choose which questions go with which class. So now we are going to play Plickers. So you have all of your questions, you've picked which ones are going with which classes, and you're ready to play. So you're going to go to the top of your screen again where it says live view, and this time you need to do it from the computer that is connected to your smartboard or to the projector or whatever type of projector you have in your room for your kids to see. You're going to click live view from that computer and this screen will pop up. Do not panic and you're like, my quiz is not there. It's okay. It's just telling you you now need to go get your device and you need to open the app. And so you're just going to go get your iPad or your smartphone. You're going to click open the app, and then I'll walk you through that in a second, and then your quiz will all of a sudden appear on the projector for the students to see. Okay, so you can now, you have this panel of names here. You can hide that if you don't want them to see who's got it right or who's got it wrong. You can change the font size of the question if you want it bigger or smaller. You can put this in full screen, and you can also show the answer. You can show a graph of who's got it right or wrong. You can change it from names to card numbers, etc. So now on the teacher device, what it's going to look like is you need to open the app of Plickers. You're then going to see this screen of all of your classes, and you need to click on the one that you are in front of at that moment. Mine is the Minions. And then your list of assigned questions. This is the queue of questions that we did earlier, and you're going to click which one you want to do first because you can pick the order. So you're going to select one, and this is what the screen looks like on your screen where they're seeing the projected larger image up on their screen. So down at the bottom you can see you have 2 options. One, add to queue if you want to keep it to ask them later, or you can click scan now, and which you would then pick up the device and scan it around the room as the kids hold up their QR codes. So it will kind of look like this. Sorry, that's a picture of my house. But if you look at the top of the screen, you will see a list of students that you have. You will also see A, B, C, D, and how many kids have answered versus the total number of kids you have assigned to your class. C is in green because on that question, C is the right answer. The other three are wrong. So you can see numbers, who's responded, how many have them correct. Here is a sample. So in this particular one, 73% have gotten the correct answer. There's 33 total students that have responded. You can see exactly which students have responded and what answer they actually selected if they had gotten it wrong. You can also pull this up on the website later on to look at the statistics more closely to then tailor your lessons. So why should we do Plickers? Like I said in the beginning, if you are in a classroom that has a single device, like my classroom only has one iPad, this is really great. With other quiz websites like Kahoot, each individual student or maybe teams of 4 or 5, each team needs to have an individual device, whereas with Plickers you can just use one device. It's instant feedback. You don't have to grade anything because you've already programmed it. You can do pre-quiz, mid-quiz, post-quiz, review quizzes. You could do polls or opinion surveys, however you want to do it. It's really easy. The students love it. They're engaged. They're having fun while taking a quiz. It's a great way to have like a little filler at the end of the day if you want to do like a silly quiz about like a mini movie if you want, or if you just want to be like, what's Miss Lee's favorite color, or what's her hamster's name, however you want to do it. Plickers is really great for that. You do need to do a little bit of work with the younger students with how to hold the QR code, but they get it down pretty fast. Something that I did was I gave them clipboards with their piece of paper because you can't laminate them. Don't laminate them. Don't put them in those little sleeves either because the shininess affects the camera. But if you put them on like a clipboard or if you tape them to something that's a hard surface, that's easier for them to hold up. So I really enjoyed using Plickers and I hope you do as well. Thank you for checking out my PD.